Hey Warriors fans, we'll get into some free agency grades in just a moment, but first, if you love the Warriors, give us a thumbs up on this video. Just hit that like icon. I want to get 1,000 likes on today's show and set a record on Golden State Warriors today. So if you love the Warriors, just hit that thumbs up icon. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into some Warriors free agency grades. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. It's been a fairly quiet free agency for Golden State, but a few moves have happened, and we're going to hand out some grades for each of those moves. They've, of course, signed Brad Wanamaker, Kent Bazemore, then they traded for Kelly Oubre as well after Klay Thompson suffered that torn Achilles. So Golden State's been fairly active. Not a lot of free agent signings, but with the Kelly Oubre trade, we felt like enough had happened where we could hand out some grades for free agency. So far, we'll do a little bit more later on if you guys want a full offseason grades video. And speaking of that, if you want full offseason grades, because I asked the bosses, I was like, hey, should we talk about draft picks? Should we talk about everything that's happening? They're like, no. Let's see if they want offseason grades. So if you do, subscribe to the channel, hit that big red button. We just crossed 7,000 subs. We're closing in on 8. Thanks to you guys, but if you haven't subscribed already, not really sure what you're waiting for because no one's keeping you up to date on the Warriors like we are. And if you want full offseason grades, you have to hit that subscribe button. So let's get into it here. Obviously, the trade for Kelly Oubre Jr. is probably the biggest notable move so far for Golden State. 2020 first-round pick to Phoenix, but it is top 20 protected. I think that's pretty good value for Oubre. I'm going to give this a B+ for Golden State because Kelly Oubre, solid 3-and-D type of player. I think he's improved as a defender as his career has gone on. He's at least above average at this point. And Steve Kerr talked about it before the draft, before free agency, that we need to add athleticism to this roster, and that became even more clear when Klay Thompson suffered that season-ending torn Achilles. So you bring in Kelly Oubre on board. Good athlete, can play the 2-3, even a stretch 4 in a pinch. He's improved as a three-point shooter and as a scorer overall. He will help replace Thompson. He won't fully replace him, but can he give you 75% of the production of a Klay Thompson? I think that is very much in reach. 18.7 points per game last year. I think he can give you 17 to 20 points for this season as he has steadily improved throughout his NBA career. Now, Steph Curry is clearly going to be the leading scorer this year, especially with Klay out. Probably would have been anyway, but who's going to be the second leading scorer? Will it be Kelly Oubre or will it be Andrew Wiggins? Type KO if you think it's going to be Kelly Oubre Jr. Type Andrew Wiggins if you think it's going to be, or type AW if you think it's going to be Andrew Wiggins. I'm curious what you guys think. KO for Oubre or AW for Wiggins? Now, score an awesome deal. Thanksgiving is almost here, which means Black Friday is here as well, and they've started their deals early at Fanatics. You can get all of this stuff, this Warriors gear, that 2 t-shirt pack, this Curry jersey, this hat, and a whole bunch of other stuff for 50% off. All you got to do is go to chatsports.com/dubsfriday. That's chatsports.com/dubsfriday. That link will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. I love this Warriors hoodie as well. Those Nike shorts are the authentic ones that the Warriors wear on court as well, and a tons of other stuff. It's not just these items we're showing you. More hats, more shirts, more hoodies, a couple more jerseys as well. 50% off Black Friday sale. Check the comments. Check the description. It's chatsports.com/dubsfriday. Okay, Brad Wanamaker here. Here was another signing, or the first signing we'll talk about. B- from me. Solid, steady backup type of guard. You needed someone that could come in and be that backup point guard to Steph Curry. I think Wanamaker's capable of doing that. Smart player, not overly athletic or overly skilled, but doesn't turn the ball over a lot, and he's an excellent defender, which will have value on this team. He could defend 1s and 2s, has enough size to guard some shooting guards, so I think that will help. I think he can play 15, 20 minutes a night, and he really improved last year as a three-point shooter. He's only been in the NBA for 2 years, played overseas for 5-6 years coming out of Pittsburgh, and has kind of carved himself a niche in the NBA as a solid defender and a good enough three-point shooter at over 36% this past season. This is a sneaky good pickup for the Warriors. I'm giving it a B-. 1 year, $2.25 million for Brad Wanamaker to Golden State. Pretty good move overall. Now, free agency is still ongoing, and there are still players that need to be signed. So name a player that you want the Golden State Warriors to sign. There's still some guys out there, so let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Who do you want this organization to bring on board before the 2020-2021 NBA season? Got to move quick because things get going in late December. Training camp starts in like 1 or 2 weeks. So name a player you want Golden State to sign. Now, Kent Bazemore is probably the better of the two signings, obviously. Solid 3-D guy. I'm going A- here. Been banged up the past couple of years, but Bazemore is a guy that plays with good energy, good athleticism. He's a good spot-up three-point shooter, and he's an excellent defender. Can guard 2 3s and 4s at times. Versatile wing, which is, you can't ever have enough of these guys, right? And I mentioned again, with Klay Thompson out, between Oubre and Bazemore, I think between the two of them, you can replace his production. You can't replace the player, but the overall points and defense and some of that stuff, between the two, I think you can get that covered for the most part with Oubre and Bazemore. Coming off a bit of a down year with Sacramento, but like I mentioned, he's been banged up. The Kings are a mess as well. I think in Golden State, he can come off the bench and give you some energy and some scoring as well. And like I mentioned, that really good defense also. Kent Bazemore, really $2.3 million for him. This is a guy who signed like an $80 million deal just a few years ago in that crazy 2016 free agency class. So I think he can come in, shoot 38% from 3, and play some good defense as well. I like this move. A- for Kent Bazemore. Now grade the Warriors free agency overall. A, B, C, D, or F. So far, things could still happen. I think Golden State may have a move or two up its sleeve still, but as of now, give it an overall grade, A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to go B. I mean, you got to factor in Klay Thompson. We'll talk about him in a second, but let me know what you guys think. Grade the Warriors free agency period so far. So these are the 3 new additions, like I mentioned. Brad Wanamaker, solid backup point guard. I think he'll play some good defense. Kent Bazemore, versatile wing. I think he'll come off the bench, but he can certainly start in a pinch if needed. And then Kelly Oubre, the trade for him, that was the big one. I think he will be your 2nd or 3rd leading scorer and also give you some athleticism as well. So those are your 3 new additions. And obviously, you can't give this offseason anything higher than a B, in my opinion, this free agency period, because you lost your 2nd best player for the 2nd straight year. Klay Thompson, with that torn Achilles there, not going to play this season. Should make a full recovery, but definitely a bummer, because I think if he was out there, I think if he was a part of this lineup, this could be a championship lineup in Golden State. Imagine Klay in there and Kelly Oubre or Wiggins coming off the bench. That would be an absolutely loaded lineup, but I still think this is a solid playoff team. You got Curry, Wiggins, Oubre, James Wiseman. I'm excited to see him play. Draymond Green, I think, is going to be motivated this year. And then with guys like Bazemore and Wanamaker, we'll see how Jordan Poole and Pascal have developed as well. I think you got enough depth here to be a solid top 5 or 6 seed in the Western Conference, but those are our Warriors grades so far. Make sure you're subscribed if you want full offseason grades.